Pete here with the Small Business Resource Center and the Small Business Resource Center YouTube channel. Just have what I consider a very important update. Tesla, of course, was introduced in the S&P 500. Well, this morning. So yesterday's trading day, which was, I should say, Friday's trading day, they actually had a flash crash, and a lot of people may not have known what caused that. I did a lot of research, and I found that because of the fact that Tesla, it was in the news that Tesla was supposed to be introduced to the S&P 500 since fall. Many large fund managers, hedge fund managers bought tons of shares, made a lot of money, and sold right at the end of the closing. And the main reason is because that's when the prices would be the highest or expected to go up the most, because typically index funds buy at the closing price right the day before the S&P introduces them. So now the question is, where's Tesla going? Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? Of course, this is my opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only, but I've done a lot of research, so I'm hoping I'm right, but if I am, it could be bad news for people who don't see this video. Technically speaking, most companies that enter the S&P 500, since everybody has news of this well before, they have a ramp up in price, just like Tesla has done. And then after they're introduced, the vast majority of these companies dip down. So the question is, where are they going to dip? I'm not going to put out numbers, but I'm going to put some factual information. Tesla's PE ratio is 1,809.90 on the website I'm looking at. On the website I'm looking at, it's number 10 in ranking. And I think this is a world ranking, or maybe it's so it's very high. The highest actually is $7,008.01, and that's TAL Education Group. Most of these companies I've ever heard of, like TAL Education Group, Quad B, Siva, MicroStrategies, Trupanion, Enerpac Tool Group, CyberArk Software, Command. Never heard of any of those, but those are the top 9. That being said, I kind of said, well, should I buy Tesla, get out of Tesla, or stay away from it? My plan in the morning on Friday was to buy in, and then when it popped, sell. But the problem that I had was the information that I saw that said all these fund managers would buy it and potentially crash the stock. So you saw Tesla had a dip, and it went up because a lot of big fund managers, they were selling stock like crazy because they know the index funds would be buying. So the other thing that I'm looking at, which makes me feel, not just the historic data, that Tesla will go down, is the average S&P 500 stock, according to this website, is about 15.87 for the PE ratio. That's their average for the S&P. I saw another website that said the average is around 22. It was actually CNBC or something like that. But it said it's 22 and some change. And they said the PE ratio, because Tesla's only going to have 1% of the share, a little over 1%, will actually go up a little bit. But the problem that I see when I'm looking at this data is a simple fact that most people that invest in the S&P 500 and those type of stocks are value investors. Tesla's been trading on speculation of their income, future plans, and growth. And I'm not saying that's always a bad thing, but you got to keep in mind the PE ratio is pretty high, and when people are saying that that basically, some people, I've seen videos that say it's worth $2,000 a share, but when you're looking at larger companies, they're not quoting these big money, these analyst companies, they're not quoting these big numbers. And I've seen other people post videos that say, well, in 5 years, Tesla is going to be worth, $900 a share, $1,100 a share. Well, you don't typically pay a lot for a share and say, hey, in 3 or 4 years, it's going to be worth way more. Most people who are trading aren't trading. They're trading to make some money now, and they're not trading for long term. So that makes me believe that the share price will actually go down because of the historic data. Typically, S&P 500 stocks do dip after they're introduced. 2, the P ratio is extremely high compared to all the other S&P 500 stocks, which also leads me to believe it will go down. And, well, 3, it just makes common sense, I guess. Pre-market, Tesla's down $25.60. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but you have to keep in mind that pop at the end, just because it did pop to $6.95, that is not like considered, even though it's a new high, you can't really say that's where it's going to stay, because all the stocks that were bought, they were bought because they were needed by the index funds. Now that the index funds don't need it anymore, it's probably going to settle to a corrected level. I don't know where that's going to be, but unless you're shorting the stock, you probably don't want it, if you ask me. Well, it's Pete from the Small Business Resource Center. Let me know if you're invested in Tesla. Comment below, smash the like button, and have a great day.